The Curse of the Forbidden Forest. In the small Igbo village of Umuoji, surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests, there was a place known as Ajo Ndu, the Forbidden Forest. The villagers believed that the forest was cursed, inhabited by spirits who were neither kind nor forgiving. No one dared to venture into its shadowy depths, and parents warned their children with tales of those who had entered and never returned. Dike, a young and curious hunter, was well known in the village for his bravery. He often boasted about his hunting skills and claimed there was no beast he couldn't conquer. But beneath his confident exterior, Dike was plagued by whispers of a challenge he hadn't faced: the Forbidden Forest. One fateful evening, as the villagers gathered around the central fire, an old woman named Neoma recounted the tale of the forest spirits who guarded a mysterious treasure deep within. She warned that anyone who entered the forest would face their wrath. Dike scoffed, his pride wounded by the fear he saw in the villagers' eyes. "What is life without adventure?" he declared. "Tomorrow, I will enter the Forbidden Forest and prove there is nothing to fear." The crowd gasped and murmurs of disapproval rippled through the gathering. Neoma's voice cut through the noise. "Dike, pride is the downfall of many. If you enter that forest, you may never return." But Dike's mind was made up. At dawn, armed with his bow and a quiver of arrows, Dike set out for the forest. The villagers watched in silence as he disappeared into the trees, the air heavy with foreboding. The forest was eerily silent, the sunlight barely penetrating the thick canopy. As Dike ventured deeper, he noticed strange carvings on the trees, symbols that seemed to shift and writhe when he looked away. Shadows moved at the edge of his vision, but when he turned, there was nothing there. Hours passed and the forest grew darker. Suddenly, a chilling voice echoed around him. "Dike of Umuoji, why have you come?" Startled, Dike knocked an arrow and spun around, but he saw no one. "I am not afraid," he shouted. "Show yourself." Laughter, cold and cruel, filled the air. From the shadows emerged a figure, a tall, gaunt woman with eyes as black as the night and a face veiled in mist. She was Ndu, the guardian of the forest. "You seek to challenge the spirits of Ajo Ndu?" she asked, her voice like the rustling of dead leaves. "I seek only to prove there is no curse," Dike replied, though his voice wavered. Ndu smiled, revealing sharp, gleaming teeth. "Very well. If you wish to prove your strength, you must complete a task. Deep within this forest lies a sacred drum. Bring it to me, and you may leave unscathed. Fail, and you will join the others who dared to trespass." Dike agreed, determined to prove his courage. As he journeyed further, the forest seemed to come alive. Vines reached for him, trees whispered secrets, and unseen eyes watched his every move. At last he found the drum, sitting on a stone altar surrounded by glowing fireflies. It was beautifully carved, but as Dike reached for it, the air grew cold, and the fireflies vanished. From the shadows emerged three massive skeletal creatures with hollow eyes and claws like daggers. Dike fought valiantly, his arrows striking true, but the creatures seemed impervious to his weapons. As they closed in, he remembered an old Igbo song his mother used to sing, a song of protection. Desperate, he began to sing. The creatures hesitated, their movements slowing as if the song sapped their strength. Seizing the moment, Dike grabbed the drum and ran. The forest erupted in fury, trees groaning and vines lashing out. But Dike didn't stop. He sang louder, the words of his mother's song guiding him through the chaos. Finally, he burst out of the forest, clutching the drum. The villagers who had gathered at the edge gasped in shock. Neoma stepped forward, her face a mix of relief and anger. "Foolish boy," she said, "do you not understand what you have done?" Before Dike could respond, the drum began to glow. The ground trembled, and a deafening roar echoed from the forest. Ndu appeared, her form towering over the trees. "You may have escaped with the drum," she bellowed, "but you have cursed your village. Until the drum is returned, Umuoji will know no peace." True to her word, misfortunes befell the village. Crops withered, livestock vanished, and a heavy darkness hung over the land. Dike, racked with guilt, knew what he had to do. One moonless night, he returned the drum to the forest. He was never seen again. To this day, the people of Umuoji tell the tale of Dike, the hunter whose pride brought a curse upon the village. The forbidden forest remains untouched, its shadow a constant reminder of the spirits that dwell within. And on quiet nights, some say they can hear the faint beat of a drum deep within Ajo Ndu.